So the Prime Minister of Jamaica, Honorable Andrew Holness, Stephen Shaw, Member of Parliament for Eastern and Western St. Thomas, among other dignitaries, will be visiting affected area of Eastern St. Thomas. Actually, they did a flyover from St. Andrew and the western section of St. Thomas. Then they will be stopping by Golden Grove, where we embark the helicopter and travel by vehicle or travel by road to affected area on the eastern section of St. Thomas. So they land at the Golden Grove Sports Complex in St. Thomas. St. Thomas was really damaged by this flood, this rain. Lots of flooding in areas, Golden Grove, Port Morant, Wheelersfield, Dalvey, Leith Hall, Prospect, License, Trinityville side, right to Cedar Valley. Lots of flooding and landslide happens in the parish of St. Thomas. So the Prime Minister decided that he was going to come and see exactly, get a first-hand experience of what took place. So he and his team visited the parish. Basically, there were two helicopters. So this one now is the one that taking the Prime Minister. The other one taking other persons. But the second one took the Prime Minister to the Golden Grove location, just as the other one did. Right. So this one now is the one that Mr. Holness is in. So he will land in right here. Then we will be traveling on the road en route to the areas that he will visit. Yes, so I'm going to make a proposal to the Prime Minister and all the others in the house, right? Please try and get a rescue team, an official rescue team, either the JDF or some other organization, with a helicopter that can carry 25 to 30 persons on a rescue mission, right? So you're going to have people that are trained to do this whenever there's an emergency where you have to evacuate people using this method. Also, you're going to have like something, the boat on it, so you can send down to rescue the people. So this is my proposal to the Prime Minister at this time. So everyone is anticipating the arrival of the Prime Minister. So now seen there, now he stepped out of the helicopter. Now that's the MP among other persons going to meet him, right, for this tour of the affected area of the eastern side of St. Thomas. He did a flyover of St. Andrew and the western St. Thomas, but he will be traveling on the road in the eastern side of St. Thomas. So he's getting ready to leave along with his team for this tour of the affected areas. So you have the Prime Minister, also Dr. Michelle Charles, MP for Eastern St. Thomas, Jim Draberson, Western St. Thomas, Stephen Shaw, Polo, Council for Eastern St. Thomas, section of Eastern St. Thomas. So they're exiting the complex now, so they're going out to start their tour along this section of Golden Grove. after which they will visit Dalvey, that Mr. Polo's division, Dalvey division.
So where you had your biggest flooding? Biggest flooding in that. So what yeah, right. All right, so near this area where all of it was fully flooded all the way up to all the way through. Whenever we're driving through everything was all over the place. Okay, so it's what you say NWA is already on spot. They're on spot capacity there, so along with water and what bridge now?
So after leaving Golden Grove now, they are in the Dalvey Chiswick, just as past Chiswick crossing where they have a big breakaway on the main road going into Dalvey. So they're stopped there now, looking at it. So that's the Prime Minister, Member of Parliament, Dr. Michelle Charles, walking. That Mr. Polo there, the Councillor for the Dalvey Division.
This nothing can drive it. Nothing can drive it, sir.
Alright, so how far up the road?
No, that's right up.
Just here. Okay, so let them go ahead.
So the Prime Minister is now touring sections of the Dalvey Division in St. Thomas, Eastern St. Thomas, along with the team.
Here, how are you? You got flooded out too? All the water come down here.
Sorry.
I realized all of this was washed out, but you were okay. Yes, because you are a little bit elevated, downstream.
No man. No man. Let's look over here. Let's look over here.
So people look at the condition of sections of road in this area, right? Nothing can drive on this road as it stays right now. So they're gonna have some emergency fixing on this section of the road in the Delvey area.
Man, pick up a turn. Pick up a turn.
How are you, my dear?
I'm fine.
How are you?
Fine.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
I'm good.
And this is your daughter. Hello. Hi. High five. Ah, see. Good to see what you're doing. How you fared in the weather?
Well, volleyball water come over and mash up the place and mash through the building. But next time I deal with it,
So it came down this road.
yeah, this
I just look out there, the road is gone.
come back to it.
But you lost any furniture or anything?
Just like what to do. I know furniture.
Oh, it's a business place?
Yeah.
Okay. But you know, as they said, if you have life, you have hope. Give God thanks, everybody will spared. Weather happens, you always have these weather events, but they're happening more frequently now than before. Apparently we are on a 2-year cycle, almost every 2 years you have a severe weather event which destroys our roads, our bridges. What I've seen in St. Thomas particularly is that because you have so many rivers and you have a nice plain, sometimes the rivers overflow the banks. But more than that, sometimes not just overflow, but they are widening and flooding the plains. So river trading obviously is one of the things that we're going to have to do in this area. We have to control the flow of the water into well-built channels. So because we don't have that, we find that there are many tributaries all over the place, and that contributes to this. And then because you come up on the hillside here, the water coming off the hill don't necessarily have channels to come down, so they take the roads as channels, which is what happened here. Coming on the high levels above that, would have taken the road and used the road as a channel. But these roads weren't built for that level of water, and that's why they're totally destroyed and damaged. But so far, thankfully, no very serious damage and no loss of life. Obviously, it's a local road, a parish council road. We'll have to see how we can help to get it repaired quickly. And I'm going to now look at some of the farms which I heard were flooded as well, and see how we can help the farms. All right, but it's good to see that you're all safe.
Yeah, I'm Nigel Levy. I'm a farmer, also a board member on the Golden Groves Farmers Association.
What problem you have?
It's about the flooding. Heavy rain. Roughly we have 500 acres, and roughly you can call it about 150 acres has been flooded. Outside of the flooded areas, the excess water has affected just about every farmers around here, because the earth has been saturated and the water now stay on the surface. So over a period of time, everybody will be affected. Even the crops that you don't see really affected now. Within days, you're gonna see the effect of it.
My name is Althea, on the 500-acre land on Golden Grove. I currently farm sweet pepper, scallion, lettuce, and sweet potato. and pop joy. However, when I went there this morning, it was heartbreaking. I have 3,400 root of scallion, and I have to be walking and picking them up because the water wash away everything. The pepper tree, the water scorch them up, burn, nothing save, nothing at all save. The land just look bare, brown bare, away from water, just that alone left on the farm.
So water is still settled on.
Yes, I still have water on the farm.
Part of the assistance to go through the process is going to take some time. I think that we can expedite it. Sorry. Because I know you want to look at it. That's probably, as a farmer, you would know that you can't always be 100% certain of what the outcome of the crop is. The weather is unpredictable. You have other challenges. But what we do know from just observing the weather patterns is that there seems to be a 2-year cycle for a major weather event. And this year, thankfully, the impact was very much localized between St. Andrew and St. Thomas. So we're very grateful as it was an island one. Damage is manageable. I'm sure we can find the resources.
You know, I'm in a heart at the Prime Minister. If we could have helped to get a trench, like a big enough trench, go all the way down to see if we take out the water. Because sometimes the rain stop there 2 hours, 3 hours, and the water still settled. No vehicle can cross, the road, high water on the road same way, the farm them flood out same way. So we really need that draining system in the area.
Well, one of the things I would say, because I did a helicopter survey of it, and the rivers need training. River training is a very expensive but because the rivers are running through a plain, sometimes the rivers really don't have any embankment, so they flood the plain. So which is what you're seeing with your land. You love the agricultural land precisely because over the natural course the rivers irrigate the land naturally. But when you start to have fixed agriculture and housing, then having rivers that are not trained on a plain is dangerous because it will damage crops, damage infrastructure, damage housing. So we will have to look at the river training. So what you're speaking of by saying, Prime Minister, we need a drain that connects this piece of land to piece of land here going straight to the river. That's a very expensive venture, but needs to be done. So yes, I agree with you. We have to do some river training.
The drilling your hearts what kind of it's not just the farmer, it's everybody. Because we can remember on Thursday, the people at Golden Grove sleep at Golden Grove on Thursday up to Sunday. Can't go.
Like you, Mr. Minister, for taking care of us.
Roland Field. Yesterday. They really want to home to me. We can use the truck, carry more.
Yeah, so your general point is well made. There needs to be some investments in infrastructure, particularly river trading, drains, and managing the tributaries from those rivers which affect your agricultural land and your residential housing. So yeah, it's something that we're gonna have to do. The good thing in this area is that you do have mining, sand mining, which in a way helps to regulate the rivers. But we have to probably work a little bit more closely with them so that when they're mining, they're also creating the kind of control around the areas that they're in.
Mr. So you guys now have the boots where you could have seen some peppers on that side.
Oh, you want to throw some damage? Yeah. When I flew over, I could see that there are some fields still underwater.
Yeah, because Richard Jones going back this side.
Right, but because it's now split up into small farmers, the capacity isn't there for them to have the equipment and the planning and then the coordination. Right. Because you'd have to go decide whose land you're going to cut through to put drain and all of those issues. So that's part of it. So it's not just putting the infrastructure, it's how do we get everybody to understand that somebody's going to have to give up something and determine the right pathway for drain.
But this year really needs some serious attention.
Yes.
I've been living here this year for a long time, and I'm telling you, right by the bamboo tree and right out there when the rainfall is looking. I've seen people that have been swept away
Yes.
because of the amount of is in the air when the flood takes. So it's a very dangerous area. And it's been happening over these years, over years and years, before you even as Prime Minister. But we really want you to just take a look and so we can get the assistance.
That's what I'm doing. My
Thank
friend,
you. Thank you.
all the best, and I hope your cassava doesn't. I know the issues with cassava. Once there's
Because this is the second time I'm losing property because I lost some people over there before I could even read it because I see what
The cassava is really very sensitive.
It's very sensitive.
To
because it's the time for it to be harvested.
Yes. So you want to get it out of the field. You might still want to try and get it out of the field. Yeah. All right.
Thank
all
you.
the best.
Thanks,
Good morning, everyone. We're here coming through Holness Crossing, and we've had a lot of flooding. A lot of our farmers have lost their crops, and we are happy to have the Prime Minister here to see in person what we've been experiencing. We are glad that our agencies have been responding on time for us, and welcome to St. Thomas.
So welcome you in Paris. It's a beautiful Paris. Jamaica, St. Thomas. And from Thursday we have been having this flooding, and we have about 26 people that went to evaluation program. So they keep coming back. We have a week of far to Friday, and then Saturday morning the helicopter come and lift them over to the Bullowfield community center. And then some of them didn't move until yesterday. So I'm saying I really appreciate it contacting Minister Chang, and I really helped a lot. And with the work agency, they help us very, very much. And I'm saying we're thankful for all of the agents that come on board to help us to get out of this thing. But with a really, where we standing right here now is where the water, the level of the planting garden river, the level with the road surface. That's what caused most of the flood. So we know that Mr. Shaw can tell us more about it.
Yes, so we had significant flooding in this parish. We were able to treat with the issues in relation to landslides blocking roads. Where flooding is concerned, though, it will require in this space new drainage features. It will also require us doing some river training work because the planting garden river is the one that is impacting this space. We know that there are a couple of places that the embankment has been breached, and we'll have to treat with the same, subject of course to the availability of funds through the Ministry of Finance.
Thank you. This morning, I conducted a tour of affected parishes, being St. Andrew and St. Thomas. We did both tour by air and by road. For St. Andrew, our tour was by air. We looked at damage in East Rural St. Andrew, which was quite extensive, especially in the Guava Ridge area. I know MP Holness is working very hard to have those areas addressed and to ensure that the people who are affected have some support. We also toured the Western St. Thomas constituency. That was by air. So generally, two parishes have been significantly affected, St. Andrew and St. Thomas. I've toured both very quickly, as you can imagine, to just get a general overview. We have made some allocations already in the budget. We do make some reserves in the budget to some buffers to be able to address these kinds of events. I'm going to go back to the cabinet tomorrow, so we'll have a good discussion about allocations, and on Tuesday in Parliament further address the nation as to what we will do to address this issue.
One question, Tinsapen. I don't know, the engineers know what's happening there. Every time there's a heavy downpour, it floods. But it doesn't seem as if, any step is being made to...
That entire area is studied. We have done a drainage study. for that area, so we understand what to do. That area is slated for major infrastructure development. I won't say all of what is planned, but you'd have seen some of it already, including, you know, what we intend to do with the Tinson Pen property and other areas around. So yes, we understand that there is damage. Some of the flooding, to be fair, is due to there is a major gully that runs along that area, and invariably that gully is filled with plastics and all kinds of debris, which block the free flow of water. So yes, there are issues with the technical designs and the size of the drains that have been there, but there are also issues with how we treat the environment, particularly the disposal of waste, which ends up in the gully, which ends up blocking culverts and creating flooding in that area. Bear in mind that when those drains were put in place, some of these drains are more than 50 years old. The Sandy Gully is more than 50 years old, and some of those drains are tributaries of the Sandy Gully. They were not built to take this level of regularity and volume of rainwater and downpour. And then when they were built, we didn't have as many roofs and as many paved roads as we now have. So if you consider the water coming off roofs, the water coming off paved areas, coming off roads, which cover the soil, which affects natural percolation, that water has to travel somewhere, and that water is trying to head into drains which are small. So when they reach these small openings, you will have a buildup of water on our roads. But notice that within 2 hours, 3 hours, it's gone, because that's the time it takes to get through these small drains. As we build out the infrastructure, we will be building bigger drains, bigger culverts with better design, and you will probably not see any flooding. There is a sense in people's mind that somehow whenever there is flooding, it is because of poor infrastructure or poor design or something. But if you look right across the world, in New York recently, massive flooding. And that depends on the volume of rain and these weather events. In some of the most developed places that you massive flooding because of the volume of rain. So I would say to Jamaicans, yes, our drains are undersized.
Mine, believe me, I don't know my house.
Ready for the interview now?
I want to be from my first in a year. Nothing to do with this. I can't just start if me say low long turn 23 walking on my shot.